Alright, welcome back to another episode. Always welcome back to watch this. So, this is probably Wave Breaker episode 2. 1 just went live literally a minute ago, so it's kind of sparked me to go back and finish it now. It's been probably 2 months. It's actually, 2 months since I've touched this Wave Breaker, since that last ep. I've been heavily disappointed in my efforts and the outcome. These clothes and my boots, they haven't moved off the porch for those 2 months. They stink, but they got glass all over it, so I may as well just put them back on. DIY, huh? I'll tell you what, before you see this, you would have seen I caught a marlin, my first marlin, so I was quite excited with that. It was probably, I didn't really film too much on the boat because we were with old Bertos. He's a bit tongue-tied. English isn't his first language, he doesn't speak much. But so I'm tired as shit. I'll tell you what, I was exhausted. I had a nap on the boat and all. So anyway, I need some tools, talking to you guys. So how nice is that view? A nice humid afternoon. It's 4 o'clock, I've waited all day to do this. Grinder, we're grinding today. So you're in the way, camera. All right, so I don't know what I was talking about. Start fresh, but this Wave Breaker, horrendous. Everything about it I don't like. It's a lot of work. I thought about using it as another mold and starting again. I got my old man to come have a look at it, who conveniently knows how to do fiberglass in, which didn't help once I've done and spent all the money on the gear. So he came and had a look at it, and we stood there for maybe an hour engineering it in our brains, not writing anything down. I now know I'm actually related to him. I used to question that a lot. So it's not going to work as another mold, and we came to the agreement that maybe I need to trim it up, tidy it up. We're gonna have to put some more layers on it, make it stronger, and put it on the boat, make sure it looks good. Stick with the original plan. Now it's got air bubbles all through it. It doesn't look good, but we feel. Hey, I'm just trying to get a workbench. Man, there's glass already on me. Just trying to get a workbench. You know what? I'll just do it here. This is my workshop. So we're just going to try and tidy it up, and if it looks good and comes out okay, well, we're winning, okay? But I feel like we're going to have to trim it. We're going to have to sand a shitload because we've got air bubbles and all that through it, and then put some new glass on it to try and hide some of the blemishes because it's not square. I'll show you in a sec. And then try and turn something that's dog shit into something nice. But how good is a rod holder? Bam, that is it. I'll leave this on for now. I don't know how I'm gonna get this out with the boat in, but I'll tell you what, one thing that shits me is how itchy all this product is. So safety stuff may have been in this. Yeah. Good old GoPro. FYI, when we were marlin fishing the other day, which was yesterday, and I caught that marlin, the GoPro decided it just was too hot to record, both of them. So we got 21 minutes of action, and then that was it. We gotta trim all this up, trim all this crap, try to get the shape back. Gotta cut the bottom. What a mess. You'll see some loose marks there where the gel coat didn't hold. I'm gonna have to bog them. All in there, up there. I'm gonna bog all that, sand that up tomorrow. And then you can see all the air bubbles. So I don't know what we're gonna do here. Like, that's a horrible corner. Down the bottom's munted. Down here's full of air bubbles. So I don't know if I can hide those blemishes. Sand them back, new layers. There's all bubbles down there and that's all twisted. But that's all kind of good. Very thin. So that definitely has to beefen up. All right, just done a little bit trim, had to go change the battery. This doesn't really matter, I went too far in, but I'm gonna run a string line and do my final cut, because it doesn't need to be this wide at the base. I wanted to probably finish probably about there somewhere. So I've got room to play, but it looks a lot better. Got it down here, down that back edge. But yeah, and then I left maybe like a mil. I'm gonna have to sand that, get that nice and square and straight. I'm painting all this again anyway. I'm gonna be painting here. I don't know even if I want to do black or white on the outside. Not sure, but it's definitely not thick enough to hold on to over waves. And then I want to somehow put a piece of timber, slice it in over it to beef it up and strengthen it, and nice curved edge. But I don't know if I want to just hold on to a raw fiberglass like this, because there's nothing else holding on to unless I put a grab rail on the inside and hold on to there. But we've started, we've made way. I've been dreading this, like I said, for 2 months. So for me to actually start cutting, I feel pretty good about it. Did muck up this corner here on the I followed the mold, but I've obviously made an issue here, so I've got to blend that down. It's gonna be a hard cut to do. Or I cut the sharp corner off and have it like that, curl it in straight. If I do it straight and knock that sharp corner off, I've got room to play with. Anyway, let's keep chugging. All right, finished trimming. That's it there. I forgot to film. I forgot I had the camera. I took it all off, chucked it on. Now, when we built it, because this section is actually curved, all right, it's very hard to build the mold curve, so it's going to be quite hard. I'm going to build a rail, let's say, 20 by 20. I want them glassed and painted, and then I'm going to put the wave breaker next to it and fix into it. That's going to help me bend it. If I follow this inside edge, I'll be pulling the wave breaker and bending it in and hoping that will make it strong enough. Now, you'll see, did a little too much there, but I got to shape that. I got to run some real lines and cut them because it's too thick at the back. Like, that's almost as wide as my top of my transom here, or my gunnel, sorry. Look, it looks all right. The other thing too is this is quite hard, so that's actually curved. This edge is curved as well into an angle. It actually looked pretty good. I took a few things on my phone. I'll see if I can upload it to YouTube as well when I do this. But it, like that line there in the middle, that see-through, that will be bogged and then painted again. My own mind's sake, if I can get this sitting on the boat really nice and the shape looks good, then I go back. I know it's kind of like doubling up. Then I'm going to go back and put more glass on, but I'm just going to have to be very mindful with my finishes when I want to layer it up down the bottom here. I don't have any overflow, and I'm always cutting and trimming with the grinder and mucking it up again. But I think it's just going to be baby steps. I'll have to sand it because there's all this extra resin through here. I'll be sanding it anyway to get the bog on when I go through the inside. I'm going to clean all that paper off. I'm going to repaint it all in there as well. I don't mind this being this color. I'll do another layer of that, I reckon. Because if you look at the side of the boat, it's kind of grey anyway. And that's got speckles of black and white through it. And I'll just speckle the shit out of that as well. So any imperfections between my bog sanding, you're not going to notice. It's kind of like the bait tank, right? The bait tank was fiberglass. I bogged the shit out of that. There was dents taken out of the corner. It wasn't square. I didn't make an episode on this, but I sanded it all. Did about 4 or 5 coats of enamel paint. Enamel paint's very sticky and slow going, but it worked. Got water in my lens. Is that why it's fogging up? Interesting. I'll change my lens. Oh, just like that. Wow. Yeah, I got water in that. There's water in there. All right, well, there you go. There's the lens cover. I'll have to fix this up later. Bits to do tomorrow to convince myself I can do this, but it felt really nice sitting there and just covering my sounder, my steering wheel. I'll be able to just throw a tarp over it, and it's just easier. Like, water comes in off this and down here, and then I'm gonna put a few push buttons like up under here for my my clears to clip onto, and then I can put my bimini back on. Yeah, so lots to do. So we'll crack on with that tomorrow. I'm feeling confident enough. I'll talk to the old man via message, see what he says, and I think I can make it. It's butchered enough that I can put it on my boat. It's not butchered enough to the point where it's broken. So we're just gonna keep going with it. Throw another $100, bit more resin, bit more glass, and then look at the solution of painting. Ooh, look at that sunset. All right. Well, I haven't done too much filming. Yes, I haven't done too much filming in regards to the wave breaker. I've been working on it, but it's just tedious. So it's just a lot of sanding. You don't need to see me sanding, you get the idea. And then this is where we're at. So we've cut it all in, done our lines. You'll see over here, down the bottom here, it's all scribed. You know, it's not flat, scribed to the boat. Same with this front edge and this edge and that edge. And then we kind of gauged, I got my mate Jamie come over and kind of just gauged just thought of aesthetics and cut and grind and sand. Gone through there, little bird poo, it's been sitting there for a bit, better get that off. And then gone for a beveled edge for my decky Pat. He's got very, hey, get out punk. It's got soft hands and he actually asked for a smooth surface. So I'll have to build this edge up too. Build this edge up as well, so it's something for him to hold on to because that'll be too sharp for his fingers. We've gone through and bogged, builder's bog. Get out, get glass in your face. Builder's bogged all these corners to reinforce. I didn't want to put more glass in. I'm done on this side. I had to sand something savage, get all this white paper off. I'm almost done. Just gotten a bit more. Yeah, anyway, I've done bog down there too. And then we've edged these corners off. So there's just little air pockets in here, all through here, these dots. I'll have to put a bit of bog in there. I don't want to sand them right down because I don't know how some are too deep than others, and then it's going to be different thicknesses and strengths. Like you can already tell here, it's more resin there, not a whole lot here. It's pretty good leaving it here. I'll put some bog through the middle. Just having that bog actually has made it stiffen up a little bit because it's very flimsy now. I've sanded the front. You see, I did not lay the glass very well. And when I say lay, I didn't, I suppose, stipple the resin through, and I definitely didn't roll it out. So there's a lot of highs and lows with the resin and glass. So all these white marks here are low points. That's a high point, so this whole section is high, probably about 1 mil. Now I sanded a lot of them. These were, get out, like this one here, that was an air bubble. There's a few air bubbles through here. I tried to sand in this shape as best I can. You can see the bog behind it, but it's strong, but in the middle, like, it is flimsy. You can even just hear it. So when you press down on it, yeah, well, like even here, a little bit weak. So I'm gonna build glass up through here more. I think that's actually pretty strong, to be fair, but I will run another 3 layers. So I'm gonna go chop, whatever I did, I can't even remember, it's been so long, but put the chop in, I'll put the mat on top, finish with the cloth, resin all over and sand it. I haven't sanded through here yet, this side, I haven't sanded, so see, in certain lights, like big air bubble here, I've got to tidy this all up with the sanding. The sanding brings out a lot of imperfections, but I've got barbecue going, just cooking dinner here, warming it up, so I thought I'd show you some stuff. Here, high spot, I just started touching on it and my battery died, I gave up. Overall, it's strong in this corner, my god, it's strong there, but here, too much flex. You got to remember, somewhere down here, I'm going to have an attachment to my bimini, so it's going to hold a bit of weight when I'm driving. What do you want? What do you want, hey? Big sook. I'm pretty content in regards to where we are. It's not a very not really a fulfilling project, to be fair, but it's good enough. I took on a task, I wanted a challenge, and I got a physical challenge. I definitely got a physical challenge. I would not want to sand and redo a whole boat. It'd be horrendous. Anyway, enough of me rambling on. We're going to pan back to me actually doing some work on it in a couple of days from now. See you then. Just a little rough guide of where it's going to sit and screw into. We're going to have to take that off later and tidy that all up, maybe glass it, I don't know. I'm running out of time on this project. We go away in 3 weeks for a 10-day fishing trip, so I just want it on the boat. And this is it. So we're going to glass these on. So I've got some leftover mat, which I was lucky enough to have, and then I did just go to Bunnings and just buy, what is it, 1x1. That's all I really need. So I get that on, and then I have a few strips. I'm just going to beef up underneath. I'm not going to go over the top. I'm quite content with the top as is. Now, last time I did this, it was a disaster. I got a bit of PTSD in here. I ended up flipping it, and then all the resin got stuck up underneath it. Up in here. You know what, I'll just take this off. We don't need this because I'm going to flip it anyway. Oh, let's put that here. How good's the tidy workshop? I'm very organized individual. I know where everything is, as long as nobody touches it. Now, this is where we're at. We've got some low spots. These are all low spots that when I, fill in with resin, hopefully that sticks on and fills up. Other than that, quite content with it. This is way too thin. It's about 2 mil. So we'll beef that up. Plus it won't be such a hard edge to hold on to. On the inside, I am very content and happy with the curvature and the flow and the angles and the tapering in. I got all that paper off. All that paper is off. Took me a long time to sand it. We got that off, so we're gonna paint that as well. So what I'm thinking, last time I did this, I just threw 3 layers on with a bunch of resin all wet. So I'm gonna put this on. I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna put one on and the other. And then just as that kind of goes off a little bit and it's pretty sticky, we're gonna go onto the sides. And then it's 8:30. I'm thinking, we'll see how it all looks. If it's kind of like tacky, touch dry, I might even come through and put on some extra layers. I don't know. We'll just see how it goes. Now, I was talking to my old man. He's quite convinced I should be flipping this like I did last time. And when it's upside down, this builds up with resin, which is quite hard to sand, and it gets all bubbles and stuff like that. He reckons as it's flowing back into it, if I keep flicking it up and flicking it out, the resin, it should go off. As it's starting to go off and get tacky, it'll stay out of there. I don't know, it would be nice just to tuck it up in there, throw the resin in, and hopefully that stayed, and then all my excess resin runs out the bottom. I just feel like it's going to piss me off if it doesn't. I should do a test piece. Alright, so it's been a few days now. I'm happy with how much fiberglass is in there and the shape. I feel like that's strong enough. So now I'm just working out, trying to get everything, the highs and lows to be smooth. I am a little guru at the moment. So we've gotten gel coat. I went and bought some wax additive and some silica. There's a certain name for the silica, but you put them together, you technically have flow coat and a thickening agent to look like, think like gyprock cement. And because I built them the wave breaker inside out, I don't have a nice gel coat on the outside, or flow coat, whatever you want to call it. So the outside's dog shit. So I've got all these high and low spots. So we've gone through, we put this on, and I troweled it. I'm just sanding it now and just making sure my lows were good. Because when I paint this, it's going to show every little ripple. And normally this shit finish is on the inside, which doesn't matter. And this smooth finish is on the outside. So that's why I'm trying to give it a little bit more attention. So I've sanded it. I've kind of built it up where it was low. And then I'm going to come over with a final skim coat, fill in these little holes. Anything else that I sort of miss, the thick, which is very thick, the gel coat, which will fill in the rest when I roll it on, which I'm trying to hope to do today, Saturday. I want to get a coat on by Sunday. So I want to finish sanding. I'm sick of going to bed itchy. The fiberglass is everywhere, all right? And look at my mighty fine workstation. We got our production recycling center. We got our tool bench and our workbench. And there's just glass everywhere around here and scraps from yesterday. The other thing with that gyprock cement stuff, the silica, you got to put in catalyst. So 2% catalyst, 4%. I went 4% wax. So I just worked with, that was 200 mils of gel coat. I'm quite happy with the angle and the structure of it. My lines, I try to keep it as stock as possible. Even down the bottom edge here, the scribing, I'm happy with that because that'll be a nice white silicone bead through there. But that's the angle. Now the dilemma, I actually just caught a few mates. I was originally gonna go gray. I just think the gray and all the black, because I have a black bimini, looks nice, but I'll jump in. But everyone said go white classic. So the other thing, practicality, is this is always gonna look dirty with your hands. Everyone said go white, so it ties in with this better, blah, blah, blah. Means I gotta take all this off and repaint that white. But that's it. So height-wise, stoked with it. Just enough to feel safe, just enough that I can lean on it. It's not going nowhere. Like, it's good enough. Super strong in the corner here for my fixings for the bimini. Like, technically, you know, it's a lot of wind pulling on that. Clearance-wise and all that through here, I'm happy with it. Coming through, looking over. I can't see the bow sitting, but it's good enough. Armrest, good enough. Yeah, I'm happy with it. All right, we degreased it, and we're gonna put our first gel coat on. So there's no real going back from here. It is what it is, but it looks good on the boat. Hopefully the paint comes up good. All right, see you on the other side. Wish me luck. All right, we're back at it. And there's two coats. I'll just clean this screen because it looks probably a bit dirty, but there's two coats of gel coat, not flow coat, gel coat under. Now, I've already sanded this side with the 40. It's got a bit of shine still. It's got orange pill. You know, it's not a showboat, right? All right. So all the coats are done. Acetone to get rid of the wax from the flow coat. Total of 5 layers of gel coat and then 1 flow coat, and the oil in the flow coat, or the wax in the flow coat goes through and takes away all the tackiness in the gel coat. And then leftover wax comes up, you gotta acetone it or degrease it, and then you gotta wet sand it. So you're gonna go 4, 6, 8. All right. We're still going. Been several days, several weeks. So I put my flow coat on and I thought I was done. And I started my wet sand and I wasn't getting rid of the orange pill as much as I thought. I brought it outside because I've been working in the shade here and it's pretty dark. Like the camera makes it really light, but it's quite dark in here. when I put it out in the light, it looked like hammer paint had been all over it. It just was bumpy and lumpy. It didn't look good. So for me to wet sand that out, it would take me like a year. So I went back and did a 240 sandpaper orbital, and I just sanded this thing. It probably took me a day to do one section, 2, 3, 4. I didn't bother sanding the inside. I'm happy with that. So I lost all my flow coat. So now I got my low spots. As you can see, there's a few low spots here, around there. I'm doing another flow coat. I'm gonna roll it on. All right, we are so close. So we've just done the last coat of flow coat, which I put on 2 layers back to back, pretty thick, but you can still see you can see the low spots and just a bit of black there. I don't know if that's going to pick that up in this light. So I've just like here, you see that. So I'm so close. So we degreased it again. It wasn't thick enough because I was using microfiber rollers. I was using these guys, these ones, and that was giving me a better finish for me to wet sand it, opposed to these thick ones. If I had done a coat, if I was smart enough, I would have done 1 coat gel coat and then gone over with this and then go with the microfiber. But the cost was, this does leave like a really rough finish. So just means there's more sanding. So I'm just gonna give you a quick 400 wet sand. I've already degreased it. I'm gonna flip it upside down and just pump through here with a brush with a small batch. Let that cure. Let that tack off. So that'll be like 40 minutes. Flip it back over. Don't have to worry about that. And I'm just gonna hammer here. I reckon in 1 coat, if I'm lucky, it will get done. Otherwise, I can let it tack off for about 20 to 30 minutes. And when I say tack off, you touch it, paint doesn't come off your finger, but it's tacky. You can reapply. So I've got 1 litre left. 1 litre of the paint left. I don't care if I use it all, but I'm not getting any more paint. It will be what it is after this. I did go through and speckle it, freckle it, whatever you want to call it. I'm a big fan of this. Like, it looks messy and a bit galaxy, but I think it's gonna soften the blow to when it's sitting on a white deck. So it is all random, just flicked it with a brush, you know, whatever. I like it. I'm a big fan. Just breaks it up, nice, smooth, gives you a bit more of a texture to hold on to. It was worth the extra work in regards to sanding and painting. Now, the only thing that really let me down was probably the corner through here. I didn't really take my time in regards to getting that nice and square. And honestly, I was over it by then. But the main thing is the orange peel and the level, the highs and lows. So definitely worth doing the extra layers of gel coat and putting on super thick so you have room to sand. Again, this isn't a problem for those who built the mold the right way around. You can see flat spot here with the orange peel, and then you can see the 400 grit going to work here with the nice smooth. So I can go over, that was 5-10 minutes of just going back and forth through here, so we can get the whole thing. So hopefully this is picking it up like that, smooth, and then you got the orange peel texture above it. So there's some highs and lows, but we can work them out. This is all just by hand, so we can get this thing looking spit shined. I don't know why I want it spit shined. So there you go, like there's an example. I don't know why I want it, like the orange peel will look quite nice on the old boat at the same time, but I just can see it's gonna look really goddamn good if I go the full way with it, opposed to leaving it just flat like that. So we've already started, so let's just see. I'll give this baby, let's give it 50. Look at that line. That, if you can live with that on your boat compared to that line, that's what's happening with the wet sand. That's how much I'm taking off. I'm gonna say it's about 1 mil to 1/2. I've definitely gone probably too far here. I'm gonna leave that because there were a few marks I can see coming through now, but I'm gonna have a big sticker on here, and plus cut and polish will be okay. So like things like here, I'm just gonna have to live with that. I'm happy, and this is where I worked up to. So that feels like probably like, think like a lizard, think like a shaved bum or a shaved head. All right, so that's essentially what the 400 grit is doing. We're just working down. I thought I'd just quickly show you because I thought that got my attention in regards to it's worth it. This is still good, but I don't know. It's just, if you're gonna do it, and this boat's going nowhere, so may as well do it to the point where I'm happy looking at it. All right, it is 3:30. I've been sanding since 9:30. All the way from 400 up to 1200, trying to make it not look as bad as it is. But this is it. We're up to the polishing, the buffing now. So this should be a lot easier. So I did spend a lot of time on it with the 400, a lot, trying to get those low spots, but then I started going into the paint too much. You can probably just see a bit of a color coming through. It's just stuff like that. So remember, this is what the inside of a DIY mold. Normally when you see them in the boat, the inside looks like absolute crap, and they don't really do the energy and effort to make it smooth. Like, this is what I should have been starting with. Like, this is how smooth I should have been working with, but instead I was working with just raw fiberglass. So I'm pretty stoked in regards to how this has turned out. I've tried my best to get rid of all the orange peel without going through the paint. Got a little dog hair in there. I don't mind having that in there. Bit of memento, but it's smooth, it's nice. Going back to 12, the shape is good. I'm stoked with the inside, actually. Like, to be fair, I'm not too phased about the outside. I'm gonna have a big Sea Devil sticker on here. I'm gonna have a, you know, the YouTube thing there. I'll probably get my call sign, which I don't know what that will be yet, down the name of here and on the boat. So it's gonna be covered, and I'm not looking at that all day. What I am looking at, which I am kind of happy with, this. I'll be happy and content looking at that. So yeah, I'll put in the effort here. Put in the effort, okay? So now we're gonna go through. You don't need to film me. I don't need to film doing this. I'll do a time lapse, and hopefully you can see a bit of shine, gloss come through as I'm going. But we're gonna go through the heavy, then the medium. That's important. You kind of 3M, base of what I kind of looked into, was probably the biggest one. Meguiar's do another one, but it's quite hard to get unless you order it online. So heavy, then we go back into the medium. Now it says plus wax. You just kind of want to ignore that, because, you know, if you still read the instructions, it still says you have to go through and polish and all that, and then wax. Like, if you use all their products, this shit isn't cheap. So I'm not going through and getting like 4 of them at, you know, at 80 bucks a pop. Meguiar's, and then I'm going to go through with a polish. And then to seal it, so it lasts a lifetime, will be the wax. And then at Bunnings, they sell these things, these pads, and the color code. So you start with the wool, with the heavy, medium, polish, or whatever, one of the two, and you work your way through. And I'm just using something from Super Cheap Auto, and then I'll just wipe down the wax with that. Shouldn't really let that be touching the floor. I'll get a different one, it's all dirty now. But that's the process. So that's all we got to do, and then we got to fix it off. My back is killing me. I've been bending over. My God. Oh, anyway, she's not perfect, but she's perfect for me. All right, put it that way. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but I will take it. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Already just finished the polish. Hopefully that picks it up. She's not showroom perfect, but God, for a workboat, my first ever fiberglassing project, I'll take it. So this will be better light. There you go. There's a few little dimples in there, but you know what? You still see all the scratches still. It is what it is. I'm happy with that. I'm content. So I just did a little wax in here. I just got to wipe it off. But I'll tell you what, if this is, I didn't sand in here, I did one coat of flow coat, that was it. And this is obviously where the gel coat was on when I pulled off the mold. So this sort of finish, I just, you know, a little bit of orange peel, tiny little bit, but no sanding, only one coat to the 5 or 6 I have to do on the outside. So imagine what the finish could be like if I'd built the wave breaker the correct way. Because then this would, you know, let's say this sort of attention to detail and all the hours I put in on the outside, that would have looked like the inside. And imagine the hours I put on this sort of paint work. So just goes to show the mold, for me, I'd say the mold is where the detail needs to go. And obviously laying up the glass, but yeah, there you go. That is it. So we done a heavy, a medium cut, and we finished with a polish, and then we've gone through with a wax. And obviously before I did the polish, I did degreaser. Didn't degrease obviously after the polish, but that's it. This is it. So I'm happy. I like it. You know, first ever attempt at fiberglassing, so I've learnt a lot. I'm actually quite chuffed in regards to how patient I was with this project and how much I hated it. So there you go, we're gonna pan back. So oh, we've done it. She's on. There's no going back now. Look at this thing. Woo! Nice. It's not perfect, but she's my perfect. Good enough. I'll take that. I'm happy with that. So she's good height. I'm hoping she's strong enough. I'm hoping. I know she's not gonna flex. There you go.